It is a big day in China today. The Communist Party of China kicked off its twice-in-a-decade Congress. The week-long meeting is the party's most important political event. President Xi Jinping opened the Congress with a nearly 2-hour-long speech. Given the events leading up to the crucial Congress, as expected, the key focus of the Chinese president's speech was Taiwan and China's reunification. Speaking before nearly 2,300 delegates of the Communist Party, Xi vowed a major struggle against separatism and interference in the self-ruled island, not ruling out the use of force. Xi emphasized that complete national reunification can be and must be achieved.
面对台独势力分裂活动和外部势力干涉台湾事务的严重挑衅，我们坚决开展反分裂、反干涉重大斗争，展示了我们维护国家主权和领土完整、反对台独的坚强决心和强大能力。
Predictably, this part of Xi's speech prompted the biggest applause from the attendees. Reacting to Xi's remarks, the Taiwanese presidential office released a statement saying Taiwan will not back down on its sovereignty or compromise on freedom and democracy, adding that its people clearly oppose Beijing's idea of one country, two systems. The statement further added that meeting on the battlefield is absolutely not an option for the two sides of the Taiwan Strait. The issue of unification of Taiwan remains a challenge for Xi Jinping. Various Chinese leaders have tried to resolve the issue in the past, but with no avail. In the late 70s, Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping proposed a plan to unify China and Taiwan under the one country, two systems policy. Under the plan, the island could follow its capitalist economic system, run a separate administration and keep its own army, but under Chinese sovereignty. Taiwan, however, rejected the Communist Party's offer. The island has since been run as a separate entity from the mainland China, though Beijing never gave up its claim over Taiwan. The idea of two systems later applied to the territories of Hong Kong and Macau, under which both regions enjoyed a greater degree of autonomy. These special administrative regions of China have their own currencies, economic and legal systems, but defense and diplomacy are decided by Beijing. But in the recent years, China has achieved comprehensive control over Hong Kong. Calling the development a major turning point, Chinese President Xi Jinping said the situation in the region has turned from that of chaos to governance. Referring to the recent change in the city's governance, Xi added that the principle of patriots ruling Hong Kong was put in place.
全面准确、坚定不移贯彻一国两制、港人治港、澳人治澳、高度自治的方针，坚持依法治港治澳，落实中央全面管制权，落实爱国者治港、爱国者治澳原则。
With his great political theater in China, Xi Jinping is on the brink of absolute power. He will formally be handed another 5 years as a chief and therefore the leader of the country. It would confirm Xi as the most powerful man in China since Mao Zedong. But what would his extended term mean for Taiwan and Hong Kong? Well, remains to be seen. And for more on this, we are now being joined by Dr. Antoine Bondas, who is a research fellow at the Paris-based Foundation for Strategic Research and a political analyst. Antoine, Doctor, thank you very much for joining us at this hour. China's Xi Jinping warned off the United States and evidently piled political and military pressure on Taiwan. Do you think an invasion is now highly likely?
I think the invasion in the short term is not very likely. The strategy that Beijing is putting forward is one of putting maximum pressure on Taiwan, be it in the economic, political, diplomatic, and even informational domain on the Taiwanese population and government, and then to try to isolate as much as possible Taiwan from the international community. So I think that the military options are not yet the only option that the Chinese have, and they would like, of course, an option in a scenario in which they could take over Taiwan without having to firing a single bullet. Because let's be very clear, we're not talking about reunification or unification. We should talk about the takeover of the island by the People's Republic of China that have never so far governed the island of Taiwan.
Doctor, why is China so adamant on both Taiwan and Hong Kong? And how long will this boisterous demeanor by Beijing last?
I think there is a clear difference between Hong Kong and Taiwan. Hong Kong today is part of the People's Republic of China, and Taiwan is not, and once again has never been part of it. There are, I think, at least three main reasons why the Chinese Communist Party cares so much about Taiwan. The first one is an historic explanation. They want to put an end to the civil war and make sure that the Republic of China, the pre-existing political regime on mainland China, just disappear. The second one is a military objective. That's to, of course, deepen the strategic depth in front of the Chinese coast and to access much more freely than right now to the Pacific Ocean. And then there is let's say, an ideological objective. The ideological reason is to get rid of a counter model, I mean, a Chinese culture society that is multi-ethnic, that has known a very brutal dictatorship, and that has transitioned to democracy from within, and that, of course, the Taiwanese society. So what we're talking here is not for the Chinese to expand their territory, it's for the Communist Party of China to eradicate, to try to destroy a political regime and the identity of the Taiwanese.
Indeed. Dr. Antoine, stay with me. I want us to talk about the takeaways from the Congress. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.